Now, good day, my fellow entrepreneurs, and you're welcome to yet another exciting episode of The Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. I am IBM Bangis, and I remain your host for the show. Now, over the week, some of you came to our social media handles, and some of you suggested topics that you want us to discuss on this show, and others asked us questions. Now, among some of you who asked questions was Mr. Isaac Paul. Now, Mr. Isaac Paul asked a question, a very interesting question. He asked, then can musicians also be called entrepreneurs? But before I answer that question, I want to take out this time to thank each and every single one of you who has taken the time out of his busy schedule to follow this show religiously and to give us feedback on all our social media handles. And so in case you want to be part of this show, you can follow us, you can like, follow, or subscribe to all our social media platforms at ENTR underscore IBM Bangis. That's a short form for entrepreneur, ENTR underscore IBM Bangis. Now, back to the question of Mr. Isaac Paul. Mr. Isaac Paul asks that can musicians also be called entrepreneurs? I think to answer that question, we need to first understand who is an entrepreneur. Now, an entrepreneur is an individual who creates a good or service and offers them to people for monetary reward. So, what is the good or what are the services that is being offered by a musician? That's his songs. So once you can create a song and you can offer them out there for people to buy or to purchase and pay you money, then you can be called an entrepreneur. But entrepreneurship is divided into different classes. We have the core entrepreneurs, we have the social entrepreneurs, we have the mompreneurs, and then we have the musicpreneurs. Now, the core entrepreneurs are the likes of Mr. Aliko Dangote and Bill Gates and many of them. Now, for a musician selling his song, he will be called a musicpreneur. Now, for the benefit of this particular topic here today, I have someone in the studio here today with me who is going to enlighten us more on how musicians can build their entrepreneurship career. But I will do that after the break. Now, stay tuned after the break. You're welcome back from the break. Now, just before the break, we were discussing how musicians can also be called entrepreneurs. And we did mention that so long as you're a musician and you make your song and you sell it to people, then you're also an entrepreneur. But in your own case, you will be called a musicpreneur. And I also did mention that I have someone in the studio here today with me who is also a musicpreneur who has achieved an incredible amount of success, the person of Rayshak Tuvuk. Rayshak, you're welcome to the Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis.
Thank you for having me.
So, Rayshak, I just introduced you, but I don't think I did justice to that introduction. So, could you just tell us more about yourself?
All right, my name is Rayshak Tuvuk, also known as Don Ray. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a radio producer. I'm a singer, a songwriter. I'm a Nigerian, and of course, a child of God.
Okay, so Mr. Rayshak, you're welcome to the show. So, Rayshak, as a gospel artist that you are, now, actually back home we have a lot of musicians out there who are into the music industry, and some of them make money, but a lot of them don't make money. Now, can you just tell us a few ways through which an individual or a musician, or let me say a gospel artist, could make money in the industry?
All right, to mention but a few, a gospel musician can make money by selling his music.
Okay.
You can actually sell your music through digital platforms. You can actually sell through concerts. You can actually sell your music through gigs and live play. And then we have something like creating a website. You can actually create a website where you express yourself, where you display to people.
As you sell your music online, right?
Yeah, selling your music online. And then you can actually teach music. It's not about just the song you put in there, but then what are the skills you've acquired as a result of your trainings. And so sometimes you can teach music. You can actually take a music course in a school. You can actually take someone on an instrument. So what are those instruments that you know how to play? You will be able to like lay hands. There are so many out there, I'm sure, that are willing. They are willing to to learn one of these instruments. And so you can make yourself available by making yourself a teacher. You can be their coach. You can be able to like earn money through there. And of course, sign a record label. That's another way.
Okay.
To mention just a few.
Okay. So we are actually basically focusing ourselves on the, let me say, the business part of music right now. And if you look at it now, there's this trend we have right now currently. Every single kid out there wants to be like Wizkid. They want to be like Davido. They want to be like Solomon Lang and the likes of all these other artists out there. You understand? So, do you feel that the industry is saturated, or do you feel there's even more room for other musicians to come up into the industry?
Absolutely. The opportunities in the gospel industry out there is numerous, to say, and but it's not easy to come by. It's not easy to achieve all those opportunities in the gospel industry, and it's not as a result of you're not working hard to attend to that, but then it is because the industry is very, very saturated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you feel there's no space for other musicians to come on board?
Musicians, you can't just get enough of gospel music, actually.
Okay.
Music generally is a daily thing. You cannot just get enough.
Okay, and the industry can actually accommodate every single.
There's room for more and more and more and more. It's just like if you listen to a particular song today, you would like to listen to a new song
another
tomorrow.
song tomorrow. Of course.
So it keeps on moving.
Of course. Okay, so there's this thing with musicians now, you know, like there's a certain lifestyle that they need to maintain. Now, in your opinion, I know you're fully involved in the music industry, but then a part of it does gospel music, right? Okay, so do you think it is costly to maintain the life of a gospel artist?
Very, 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 very costly to say. You know, first of all, you got to create a pattern. You need to have create a pattern. Creating a pattern means maybe a style that you want to be known with, and sometimes that style could be the way you dressed, and then you make it unique. All those ones can't cost, and sometimes it's not everything that you put. Not even sometimes. A musician, you're supposed to be selective of the things you put as you eat. And so if you look at the things you eat, it also incur cost.
Okay.
Because you have to be selective. You have to eat those things that will keep improving your health. You have to eat those things that also will improve your voice to have a good delivery. And then of course, if you talk about the aspect of production, recording is very, very expensive. And so if you look at all that, it is highly expensive.
Okay. So now there's something you mentioned. You did mention that you have to look out for the things you eat. So does that mean if I'm a musician, there's certain things that I cannot eat? Maybe I can't eat my local tuwo or akpu or amala, or what do you mean by that?
Well, certainly not every time you eat every kind of food. But of course, there are certain foods you should avoid. There are certain food you should avoid. If you actually want to like give a very good delivery and a good quality coming out as a musician, that people that you will always have the fans with you, and then you don't just need to eat anything. You can eat, yes, of course, but then you have to eat some selective food.
Things that will make your voice better, right?
Something that will maintain your voice. Something that there are some things you put into your mouth today, it will just crash your voice.
Exactly.
So
okay, so well, actually, looking at the music industry, I will say like it's been driven by technology. And as we know it, technology has actually improved the way we live our lives. Like it's making every single thing better out there. Now, in your opinion, let me say, what are some of the benefits that you feel technology has on the music industry? Because if you look at it actually, in my own, let me say, view, I feel because of technology, we've been able to hear songs from America, songs from Dubai, songs from different places around the world. So what other benefit out there do you feel technology gives to the industry?
Well, the music industry way back then have suffered a lot of challenges, even though to us it was like a normal thing, because if technology had not been improving, we would have still remained with the analog method of our recording.
Exactly.
To talk about
Exactly.
like multi-track recording, actually, that we are now enjoying. Before time, it used to be very, very hard.
Okay.
You find yourself like working on a particular song for a long time, even though it will be good. I remember my first recording was in 2000, year 2000.
Wow.
And of course, we only use the piano,
Mm.
and then we sequence using the piano. But now, we've gone far more than that. You know, it takes more of your time, which, like it's commonly said, time is money. And so for you to like, technology had actually brought a lot of changes into the industry, because it saves times in terms of multi-track recording. And then also, there are what we call, not everyone is professional enough to record and then you have it the way it is. And so we
Okay.
have some certain tools that are introduced into the music technology
To make you sound better.
to make you sound better, something like auto tune. And then
Okay.
of course it actually has a way of improving your pitch. And then we have digital streaming softwares that can actually make your music to go easily by, and all that. And so we have also MP3 player. What kind of music, how do you want to deliver? Is it a video, is it an MP3? Such provisions, the technology had made it easy for consumers to be able to actually benefit via the mediums they can access as easy as it is. And of course, smartphones.
Okay.
You know, it's before now. You have to like put everything you have on tapes, and
Exactly,
maybe
and then
the next time they will have to hear or see you, you have to appear on a concert with your tapes to be able
Okay.
to like
To sell them
sell
out.
before your fans get it.
Exactly.
But now, at least with smartphones, from wherever you are, once you put it on for downloads, you know, of course the fans have it at their tips. So
Okay.
technology has improved the music industry.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Now we are looking at, let me say, the business part of the music industry. Now, obviously, if you look at so many musicians out there, we have so many of them. Just a few of them make money, and some of them actually don't make money. Now, in your opinion, how can, let me say, a musician or a gospel artist or anyone involved in the music industry diversify his source of income?
All right. You cannot just depend only on music.
Okay.
Even though you're a musician, that might be your call, that might be your focus. But then there are other things you need to do to be able to like keep moving. Because sometimes not I understand that not many people really can earn a living or earn high income through sale of CD. But I see that you can actually do something different. You can actually sell physical products. Yes, you
Okay.
can sell physical products. You can sell digital products as well. You can sell. You can teach. You can teach in school, just like I mentioned earlier. You
Oh.
can teach. You can teach in school some of those talents. And just like I said, there are so many people that are waiting for you to just be available for them to learn a particular instrument. Is it a
Okay.
piano? Is it a guitar? Is it drums? So whichever ones you know you're best at,
Okay.
as in your very best at, you can be able to like earn money through all those things.
Okay, so Mr. Ray, now in the beginning of this show, you did mention that you're a chartered accountant. You're also a gospel artist, and you're also a radio host. So how are you able to manage or maintain all these things within the time that you have, within the time frame that you work with?
Well, that in itself is what we call diversification. You
Okay,
know.
and diversification of your time, yeah.
Of course, and everything. You utilize every opportunity that you have, and I have to give my timing as per the work I do as a professional accountant. And then, of course, if it comes to my music work, my timing for rehearsals is very, very important. I have to take it very, very seriously. And then, of course, if it comes to my radio shows, I have to also take it very, very serious as well. And so it's also seen as diversification, of course, and I'm finding it cool with
Okay.
God on my side. Yes.
Okay. Well, if you're just joining us, you're watching The Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. Now, at this junction, we're going to take a break. But don't forget, stay tuned. After the break, we'll continue our discussion with Mr. Ray about music and entrepreneurship. Stay tuned after the break. Why do you want to become an investor?
It's an abstract, and I think I would say it's based on our wits. or our chances? It's a risk.
First of all, you have to have general understanding of that industry to start with.
Imagine you doing a transaction between Nigeria and China and it delivers within a space. How I got to make that money, the profit on it, I don't know. But you get faced with few challenges and you feel, oh, it's time to give up. Maybe this thing is not for me. It's not for any of us. Consistency, you have to be honesty, you have to.
Business, if you are being honest.
I am IBM Bangis and I remain your host for the show.
Okay, so you're welcome back from the break. If you're just joining us, we're discussing Music-preneur with Mr. Rayshak Tuvuk. So, Mr. Ray, now just before the break, I asked you a few things that one could do to make his music career better. And we're actually discussing the business part of music, right? So, let me ask you right now, in the next 5 years, where do you see yourself?
Well, if you ask me that question, I think I want to see myself rocking the whole nation, as in rocking globally,
Okay.
as a successful musician.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a lot of viewers back home
Okay.
who are musicians and probably will want to take their career to the next level, right? So what advice will you give to people who are just starting out or who are actually actively involved but are not making as much money as they would want to make in the industry?
All right. I will advise that you pick a platform,
Okay.
lean into it until you are successful, to be able to have and develop a very good community strength,
Okay.
and then you will be able to like move to the next level. And of course, um, it doesn't just have to be music
Okay.
alone, and it could be better if music is the only part of it that makes or counts your success. And
Okay.
so keep moving, keep pushing.
Okay.
You might not really blow the way you think you should by now,
Exactly.
but then of course, if you keep your dreams, you keep your focus, you keep focusing, and of course, definitely with God on your side, that which is the paramount thing I would like to talk about.
Okay.
A very good connection with God gives you the inspiration that will make you to stand out.
Okay.
And of course, yes, it will strengthen you to be able to like come out powerfully in a unique way,
Okay.
all through His grace.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Ray, for that. Now,
welcome.
talking about inspiration, there's actually a very important quote from one of my most, let me say, most amazing mentors out there. Now, he said, if you have a dream, you've got to want that dream bad enough that you go out and fight for it, that you work day and night for it, that you give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. And if all that you dream and scheme should be about it, then life will seem useless and worthless without it. Now, if you simply go after that dream that you have with all of your capacity, strength, and sagacity, if neither cold poverty, famine, nor gout, sickness of pain, nor body and brain can keep you away from the goal that you have, then with the help of God, you will get it. Now, the most interesting part is with the help of God, because you did mention God yourself. So, Mr. Ray, thank you so much for being on this show. It was a delight having you on The Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. Don't forget, you can follow us on all our social media handles at ENTR_IBM Bangis. Now, I'll see you next week. Stay tuned.